firm that's requesting the money, and it wasn't gonna be Reamstown, it was gonna be Wellspan or whoever it was. That was the only way we would pay the bill. That's all I can remember, that's how it was laid out. We were gonna put $96,000 a year in the budget
Right.
to cover this. And it was a one-time thing, it wasn't cumulative. So it wasn't, if you didn't use it the first year, you didn't get another 96 the next year. That's how that whole thing was set up way, way back.
Right, so we were waiting for the invoice or the
At that
paper.
time, yes.
Exactly, to show the $96,000.
And those were supplied twice to the board in 2017, 2018, and 2019. Then you decided to request more information. So it's become a never-ending battle of what you want and what you don't want. Maybe that's a good thing tonight in a public meeting. Tell us exactly what you want so that the public hears it, so you can't change your mind moving forward into 2021, and you have another scapegoat out the back door to not help fund it. Now, right now, Reamstown Fire is carrying a load, paying the bad debt for Reamstown EMS. We are one, but if we split them off, the debt that EMS is they're going out of business, they're done for. If we don't help them and help carry that debt, you've had no more than that.
You provided the information multiple times. The information you provided multiple times is identical to the prior information you provided before. It's identical. So just because the information is being provided 2, 3, 4, 5 times, if the information
But
doesn't...
the way you want the information changes every time we provide it.
It
Like
doesn't change.
Our accountants, so we just spent roughly $4,000 to $5,000 to switch over to QuickBooks. Our accountants told us and advised us any municipal government should have been able to work with our ledgers the way they were. We shouldn't have incurred that additional cost to provide you our financials. So now we're $5,000 additionally in debt because of a requirement that you're making for us to try to get funds to be sustainable.
Our requirement is not a requirement. Our requirement...
How long has East Cocalico Township been doing their financials on QuickBooks?
You
Since
provided...
what date?
You provided 2020 information, and you've stated that this is sufficient information, so you have a final decision on whether we make the payout. Correct? You've also stated Weingold Nichols has looked at this information, and this is absolutely reflective of their accounting record of what we need, correct?
That's correct. I gave my letter sheet.
That's correct. Okay. So what I'm looking at here is a profit and loss statement. Where's the balance sheet? The profit and loss statement only gives us part of the information.
So you want journal entries. You want a transaction. And that's basic, and I can get you whatever report you want.
We've been asking for those books for how long? Let me give you another example.
QuickBooks. We've had the books.
Let me give you, Jeff, I'm sorry, let me give you another example. I have members of the public here. I want to know what members of the public would think if this board authorized a $96,000 payment based on the following.
And that payment, RC, just to be upfront, was supposed to go directly to Wellspan, and you are the one that said you absolutely cannot do that. You can't pay those personnel direct. You have those invoices that told us that doesn't work. You cannot do
May I
that.
finish my thought? Based on the information you provided, which is 100% accurate and reflective, is what you stated multiple times. Cornerstone shows an invoice bill
I see where you're going with this.
of $189,556.55. Your profit and loss statement shows the income for the ambulance program as $182,641.84. That means there's a difference of $6,914. The information's not consistent from Cornerstone over to the profit and loss. So you got to put yourself in our position.
Yeah, and I can answer your question 100%, because I can bring Cornerstone in here, because Cornerstone Cornerstone invoices for us. When an ALS unit hits the street, that reflects our journal entries. So Cornerstone would take our net, which is about 20%, and I can get you report after report after report. They have to then take ALS out of our net that goes to their funding. So as soon as an ALS is hit for a call, that reflects on Cornerstone's invoicing to Greentown, and then Greentown has to reimburse Wellspan or UPMC or whoever it is for that ALS.
But put yourself in our position, we're responsible for the public's money.
I understand.
We're being presented this document, and we don't have that level of detail in the background, and this document shows a $6,914 difference. The other thing that's different, this document you've provided for your profit and loss, in the past, with the documents from the Ephrata Bank that you've referenced in, like Scott said, 2017, 2018, and 2019, it shows Medicare and Cornerstone as separate line item on the incomes. The profit and loss one you're showing us here no longer has what's Medicare, what's Cornerstone, we're not sure. So in actuality, this profit and loss statement actually gives us less information than what we had in 2017, 18, and 19. Let me add to that. If you go to the expense line on this summary sheet for a profit and loss, 2019 Ephrata Bank information that you gave us shows a loan payment of $614 a month, $7,371 a year. There's no loan payment in expenses for 2020. However, think of the confusion that we have and the responsibility we have. However, a September 15th document from Reamstown Fire Company signed by Tom Clay states, this is related to, quote, this letter is a response to your letter dated August 31, 2020 to Rick Carpenter requesting an itemized listing of all expenditures listing all township funds given to Reamstown Fire Company, number 1, ambulance operations in 2020. This letter that has 6 line items on it for expenses shows a loan payment of $1,843. I understand you keep saying you've provided the documentation. I'm asking you to please put yourself in our position. And with this inconsistency in all of this information, how in the world do we do this? How do we hand out the public's funds at $96,000?
Maybe the way we first requested it, and that would have been to pay the personnel like it was requested instead of putting us across the goals, making us do all kinds of stuff that is just unreasonable and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The only thing that you would have had to do was pay the 2 contract people direct to Wellspan, and this would be all over. There would be no issues, and you could have done that every year. And in 2017, I believe, RC, your suggestion was that we form a board or a little group, and we have meetings on a regular basis, and the 96,000 was a very temporary solution until we came up with a long-term solution of how we deal with EMS in East Cocalico Township. What that turned into, too, was no meetings. Let that up to the volunteers to try to figure out where we're going to go. And we ended up with a fire board, somehow, and the fire side wasn't really broken. We were doing things on our own, so in my opinion, you guys brought that all back to a head. That was already done and over 2 years ago. So now that's back on the table, and we still not addressed the basic issue, and that's where our community needs to know the quality of their EMS service is going to go extremely downhill when Reamstown decides that we can no longer financially carry the load with the donations,
Okay,
and we close that up.
okay, Scott, can I ask you a couple of things myself? So on September 10th, 2019, I sent you a letter telling you that issuing a check of that size sets off numerous bells and whistles, and therefore we must have the appropriate documentation on hand for our auditors. I knew at that point that our auditors would need a full copy of the contract between WellSpan and Reamstown Ambulance dealing with the reimbursement requirements. I have not yet gotten that. If checks are written for reimbursement of wages paid, certified payrolls backing that up. I don't have any kind of certified
Yeah,
payrolls.
those agreements all can count, so you do have.
I have an agreement, that doesn't deal with the reimbursement requirements.
But you need to
No,
clarify.
I'm not sure.
It doesn't
if you have
deal with
them
the
way you
reimbursement
guys
requirements
want,
of you.
But you have them.
I have an agreement that has nothing to do with the reimbursement requirements though. And I also need to know what the items and pay rates defined were and what the benefit rates were. Contribution rates, unemployment, and just weekly payrolls. And I
You
don't
had
even,
all that, and it came directly from us, and you've had that, I think, 3 times. Now, I'm not saying, Penny, that you
I don't have the weekly pay, I did not
But,
get any of those payrolls.
RC's the only one we've dealt with through this, so
Okay.
I have to
All right.
go back to RC.
This was provided on December 3rd, 2019 for the first time. And when we spoke, Jeff, we requested it back on May 30th of 2019. And at that time, you expressed to us you did not have an updated contract because WellSpan had acquired Ephrata. Your contract was with Ephrata and you needed to update it. And I thanked you for checking on that. And you provided us a contract. You provided a contract with WellSpan that was then updated.
We provided you with the contract that we had from Ephrata, and then when we got the signed contract from Walston, we gave you that information.
Correct. So we have that. And the contract with WellSpan is now with Reamstown Fire Company number 1, which is, I believe, what you guys wanted to reflect, which is where the previous contract was with Reamstown Ambulance Company. That was the,
I would say that,
I'm looking at the documents now.
yeah, that, it was always the Reamstown.
So let me ask you-
They're one entity.
I just, Penny, are you done there?
The only other question I had was, at the September 21st fire company meeting, you noted that Reamstown EMA did some substantial changes internally and things have been turned around and you're going to break even this year.
That we're doing well.
So,
That we may come close to breaking even, that's very true, we
okay,
may.
well, that's wonderful. So I'm just saying,
But that wasn't, the deal was not that. The deal was that we came to East Cocalico Township to help fund paid personnel for that EMS. So right now what happens is Reamstown Fire,
but EMS is a
its funds, their
for-profit
funds are
business.
getting overlapped to cover a lot of the expense of EMS. So it's gonna show, we can make the Reamstown EMS show whatever you want us to make it show. You know what I mean? That's just a matter of books, and then books really mean nothing. That's where we ask the supervisor to come out, get in the trenches, learn what's going on, make some commitment. You were voted in, you took the job as leader. I think it's soon time you step up and be leader. It gets so tiring, coming to a meeting, listen to you guys just beat around the bush, come up with all kinds of excuses, pat us on the back, tell us how good a job we're doing. I think sometimes action would do a whole lot more than words. If you want to really show the people in the township that you care and you want to be responsible leaders of your community.
Being responsible leaders of our community means we have to abide by our oath, which is to watch the financials of the municipality.
That's correct, it is.
And to
And
have
I would think in 3.5 years' time, RC, by now, you could have figured it out.
So,
You would, if you cared so much, you would have came out, you would have went along and you were offered to go to our accountant, get exactly what you need, when you need it, how you
We
need
have,
it. By
we have
yourself,
offered,
go get it. You didn't have time to do that.
I believe we have offered to go pick up your books. We would pay to have all of your books put into QuickBooks. We offered to
You
go
did never-
collect
never
them,
offered
separate
that.
them
Never.
out. And
our
You said
no. Can't go to your QuickBooks account.
You said no.
It doesn't work.
No, you never offered that, RC. We
never
got
offered
too
that.
many people sitting here now, you're not gonna be able to change your story.
We never offered that.
Never.
I just have one final question for you, just because, you know, you're stating that we're not being responsible. I have a final question for you.
Yeah.
Jeff, did you sign the contract with Wellspan Hospital?
I believe I did, yes.
It was November 8th. On the reimbursement by the ambulance organization in section number 3, you should have plenty of records inside Reamstown documenting the following, I would hope. It states, quote, should the ambulance organization financial change, let me requote that. Should ambulance association's financial situation change during the course of this agreement, ambulance organization shall notify hospital promptly, and the parties shall meet and negotiate in good faith a new reimbursement rate. Was that done?
What they're negotiating? We got that done. We have the lowest rates with our staff that we can. Our rates that we're paying our EMTs and our people through Wellspan is the lowest rates we've ever had.
Your financial situation changed, you came to the municipality, you came to the township to ask for funding.
I think what you're gonna find, RC, is fire departments, and I'm speaking for all, not just Reamstown. We're dealing with funds that our community is giving us to provide a service for them. We are some of the most frugal organizations you're gonna find. We're not looking to waste money, we're not looking to spend money, we're not utilizing tax money other than donations you give. We have to beg, borrow, and plead to make it so that our community can sleep safe at night so they have the best service available. And I think in this township, from police the whole way through fire and EMS, do an exceptional job. But this kind of thing really makes you not want to do it. Quite frankly, because you feel like you're getting, like what I hear you saying is we're not trustworthy. That's what I hear
That's
coming
not what
out of
I'm
your
saying.
mouth. 100%, everything you said tonight is we are not trustworthy department in Reamstown. That's all I hear. I don't hear anything else coming that is relevant to what we need or what the service needs to become a better organization, a stronger organization to serve this community for a long time forward.
What you're hearing me say is we have a fiduciary responsibility, and the state comes in annually to take a look at how checks were issued. And we do not have, and the documentation that we have is inconsistent at best at this time.
Arthur, you said the new contract was signed 2019, right? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, in 2013 is when Wellspan bought EFTA. Why didn't they get a new contract earlier than 2019?
I don't know.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
You can get that.
They ran with that contract, and I think it's actually from 2011. It's 11 or 12.
But then that contract.
They didn't. Let's just face
They're basically talking to them, they renewed everything, and then they have new people that look at them, just
Put it in the budget for
and
next
got
year.
it, leave it
Let
there,
them
and be out.
audit their books. When it comes back with losses.
I think to end this so that you can move forward, I think as far as I'm concerned, as the fire chief for Reamstown, I have the answers that I need from the board. So I think, for me, this conversation.
Yeah, so that's, I'm just gonna go there, so we'll close this, we'll consider this, I'll go back to Reamstown, we'll consider this situation closed.
It's not closed. We have the money available for
For
you.
now,
It's closed.
No,
Reamstown will come back to you.
if you're giving us permission to sit down with Weinhold Nichols, that's perfect.
we're not giving you any permission.
We're not giving you
now. No,
permission.
we're back to discuss this.
We're not giving you permission to do anything else. We're
And
gonna
we'll
consider
decide
this
from
closed.
this point forward. what we
Reamstown,
will do.
I'll go back to my executive board and the department. We'll come back to you and let you know how long we'll keep EMS service in the township, through Reamstown. That we'll consider this closed because there's too many, it's kind of like what you guys were saying with fire side. You guys have your opinion, we have our opinion, we're not there. It's two different things, so the next time I come here, we'll get our recommendations on where we feel the EMS service will be. So we don't need anything else.
Moving on, public comment, non-agenda items. Chad?
Could you repeat that statement that you read at the beginning of the fire board thing? I didn't quite catch all that, I wasn't ready for it.
Okay. The township shall be responsible for ensuring fire and emergency services are provided within the township. Okay?
Finish it.
Well, that was
Finish
something
it.
about
That's
funding
not
there.
exactly what you read.
The township is not obliged to fund for-profit organizations.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Okay. June?
Is there a regional leaders meeting on October 27th?
Yes. Yes, at West Cocalico Township.
Okay, do you know what items East Cocalico is going to discuss?
No, at this time.
When will you advertise it?
You know, I-
No, we don't advertise that, not really.
There won't be any draft available before the meeting?
Not really, not normally. There's a West Cocalico agenda that just lists us, we don't.
I don't believe that meeting's open to the public.
It
Is it? But I thought with COVID,
Yeah.
they changed the rules.
has to be.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be open to the public, but we never pre-list what we're on the.
Okay, it's open to the public?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you, one and all.
Good night.